Tipton. I live next door to Eric Stearley, so I'm 2 doors down from the proposed plan. I have a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and we're expecting next month. I can walk out to where their playset is and see the old buildings. Even if I stayed there and lived in that home that's been in our family for over 80 years, I couldn't send my children out there. I'd feel guilty every time I sent them out there to play. I'm asking you to just find some other location that is away from our children.
Well, Dan, you did mention when I said something about the bids that you could run trucks from Bloomington to fix these roads up here.
It's not possible. We wouldn't be
You
moving
said
it.
when I said there were bids, but
You only did 12 tons last year. I mean,
just pointing out what you said.
yeah, I can, but I can't be competitive.
This is a farm community with a lot of open land, not close to schools.
You can bring trucks
Well,
from
like
Illinois,
I don't
that's
know,
just not real smart.
I don't know what you,
No, I'm telling you
I
what
mean,
Dan.
I know, but that,
No, but
that-
Dan,
if you
I
guys
just
want
want
to
to
take off,
but that's not logic.
No.
He could bring trucks from
He said
Arizona or Illinois, it's just not real smart to do
Keep
that.
in mind, when I said the bids were put in on December 27th, Dan said, and that's fine, I can run material from Bloomington.
that's where I bid it from, because it's that plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So we're just reiterating, it's easy, we can do
It's
that.
not easy.
it's not easy.
possible. But what I'm
It was
saying
mentioned.
is if you guys, if we get to the point where we don't care, I don't know what you guys can do with this property, because if it's not me, forget about asphalt, and put some factory back, you're not gonna like that traffic, you're not gonna like anybody getting back there. It's the way it seems.
Yes.
So I don't know why they market it as a commercial site or something.
That'll be addressed, let everybody else get done, and that's gonna be addressed already.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Sherry Seward, and I live on 340, and our property doesn't back up directly to that. There's a few hundred feet between that, but we are directly in line to where it's going to go in. And we're concerned about the toxicants in the air and what asphalt is made from. I have an ordinance here from Brazil in 1980, and I don't know if that has been rescinded or changed or what, but it states that no activity involving the storage or utilization or manufacture of materials or products which contain arsenic, cyanide, strychnine, or other poisonous substances shall be permitted unless officially approved by the council. I don't know if that council has approved some of the substances that will be entered into the air from the manufacture of asphalt. So,
That, I think I can answer your question there. Nothing like that has been brought before the council for an approval.
would that have to be done before this would be allowed?
Nothing's progressed to that stage that I know of.
Okay.
Like I say, other than today, folks, I want you to understand, this is our first meeting with these folks and you folks as a concern, but,
Well,
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't aware of that ordinance until you
Well, I
just
have
read it,
copy.
but.
But I was,
it's,
Miss Amy had shared with me when I spoken with her, that, it was their hopes to be starting here April the 1st.
Well, that's when I generally open all and asphalt.
So, this is
I didn't
my
say this one.
concern, that things are moving along and we haven't had a chance to really look at everything that was.
Could I address that, please? Because I've studied this 3 days in a row. When you submit a federally enforceable state operating permit in the state of Indiana from the Office of Air Quality, that permit is required to give the public a 30-day notice. And when this permit that was in question, there's been a relocation permit applied from this original permit for Plant 9, right, Amy? The original permit, when it was opened in North Vernon, Indiana, the FESOP notice was given to the North Vernon newspaper. A copy was sent to the health department, a copy was sent to the city council and courthouse, and a copy was sent to be put on notice in the library. When the relocation permit is applied for, none of those are afforded the city of Brazil. All we have is a written notice
From me, because I haven't been approved by the state of
from you.
Indiana.
Right,
Guys haven't been approved by the
right,
state.
the relocation you've given us from the date you have to submit that approval, or submit that, which is January, you said January 23rd. then we get a written notice. We don't get any sort of public awareness out of the basis of this permit as you do if it's a new construction permit. Am I correct?
Once you do a new construction, it's just buying an asphalt plant.
No, I'm saying a new
But I mean, that's
construction.
what a piece-up is, when you buy an asphalt plant, that's considered a new construction, but it doesn't mean construction like that.
Right, but my point is that, so the original permit, North Vernon, Indiana, got several avenues of
That's why I
notice.
brought it home when I first bought it.
So the relocation permit, we just have a written notice
That's
that
what
we
the-
have to generate public
If you
awareness.
looked at my fee-up, that's what it says I have to do.
Right,
And I did what I'm supposed to do.
right, one little notice. We have
That's
nothing,
it.
we have nothing.
That's what the fee-up does.
Okay, so that's a good point. So all those air quality standards, everything in FESOP, you're just gonna go by those.
That's what my law is by the state
Fair
of
enough.
Indiana.
Fair enough.
I mean, by the state of Indiana.
Just telling you what the people can expect as far as public awareness.
If I can address the toxins real quick going further, most of the toxins we have come from the manufacture of asphalt as far as the fuel we use, natural gas, diesel fuel, number 4 fuels. Most of the toxins are released from there, it's not the asphalt itself. Hot mix asphalt is used in California as far as water based. They use asphalt to help stabilize the ground, to help keep the water clean, to keep erosion down. Asphalt itself, hot mix asphalt is used in water treatment plants, water reservoirs. You mentioned the schools, the band practice on every day, it's the same material that's on the road that we have in the plant, it's just a matter of it's in a liquid form, it doesn't change, we don't add any other chemicals to it to produce it, it's just a matter of we warm the asphalt up to where it's pliable, 300 degrees it's pliable, and once we put it down it cools. Minimal, the asphalt we use, has minimal VOCs, that's only when you add additives to it to change the actual structure of the asphalt itself.
That's a cancer causing agent.
Not actually through EDC,
Asphalt.
if I could finish, through the CDC, the other cancer researchers, you know, list asphalt as a probable cause. They haven't had any statistical data stating that yes, it is a cancer-causing agent. They can't rule out the data that they've done. It's not conclusive, but the other chemicals within diesel fuel, the formaldehyde, the benzene, other things are already produced from diesel fuel, other sources, not the asphalt itself that produces the toxic emissions that we're questioning.
The VOC does cause dizziness, headaches, fatigue, loss of muscle coordination.
And the same with diesel fuel, gasoline, and other chemicals. It's a gas station down the road, they carry more fuel at the gas station than we do at the plant. We have a 6,000 gallon load that comes in, we use that till it's empty. We don't carry any more fuel or asphalt. We keep 3,500 gallon or 35,000 gallons of asphalt at one time. It's minimal. We don't have a million-gallon tank we're storing the material in. It's minimal. It's not, our exposure is very limited. And all the tanks meet the guidelines of the fire protection. They're all double wall containment tanks above ground. We don't have any below ground storage tanks where we have any leaching issues into the water source.
So it's not very big. It's not a lot of
Yes, sir.
room.
Could you explain to us a little bit about what some of the testing regulations are? How often they are, what kind of things you have to test for, those kinds of items? I think that might help us understand a little bit about, when you say a violation, that could mean 100 different things.
Well, sometimes the violation is just a timing issue. You got, like the stack test, you got so many days. Well, when you do a stack test, you gotta have so many tons to lay, and if we don't have enough tons to lay, then we get a fine for not getting done on time. So it's not like you didn't pass the air
So you have
quality.
to do a certain volume, at a peak performance.
You have to run your asphalt plant to full capacity to do a stack test, and,
Sometimes you just don't have the work. So you go past that line, you get a penalty, and then of course, then you do get the work, then you run the test.
So do you administer the test, or is it a third party, or how do
it's
those
out,
items?
I have 2 outside sources. I have air analysis and Ashbury environmental.
And then the state is there.
And the state of Indiana's there.
And then the state's there, yeah, the state inspector comes there.
Then we also have periodic inspections where they'll do random inspections. They'll come through every load of fuel that we receive has to be certified as far as the level of sulfur or any other materials within the fuel. Every record is kept as far as fuel, asphalt, every load we receive. It's what feeds bookkeeping.
Yeah, this is what my plant operator has to fill out every day.
We have 6 or 8 pages of the running conditions, the fuel they use, the number of gallons. We have to keep track of the number of gallons on hand at any moment.
You got your own trucks, or are you gonna hire a local truck?
We don't have our own trucks now. So we're gonna look for somebody around here to run some trucks.
My name is Lori Hutchison, and we live one house over from Layne. We have back surveyed and asked what, if we wanted that plant going in back there.
Well, obviously the Romases have owned this property a lot longer. Well, I don't own it. The Romases own it, and like I said, they've been working with somebody to promote this as a commercial site, so, you know, I'm just kind of got invited into a situation, I guess.
Lomas owns the property, he wanted.
Yes, yours and,
Jim Cockenberry, I think that unless Washington else wants you.
We've been trying to develop a site up here for 2 years or so, looking for other sites, and we've had county commissioners come to us and say, we'd like to have another asphalt source.
You've had Clay County commissioners come.
We've gone through here, we've gone through for 2 years and had people come through and look at other businesses, look how much work it's up here, and talk with commissioners and see, is there a need for asphalt here? And they said, yes, we'd like to have competition. Even reading through the Brazil Times, that there was mention that they wish we had other.
I swore I wasn't gonna say anything. If I understand you, you weren't real specific there, but I'm pretty sure that the county commissioners in Clay County, and I'm not one, I'm a county councilman by the way, but I've spoken to 2 of our county commissioners since this meeting was called, and I'm pretty sure that our county commissioners have not recruited you to come here.
I haven't talked to any of them. I've only talked to Romas.
Okay.
So,
Now, the economic development people that are working to promote that site and the whole county, I mean, that's part of their job is to bring industry to our county. They may be promoting that site, but I wanna make it perfectly clear that as far as I know, our county commissioners have never met or talked to any of you people.
Well, Charlie Brown has, because I talked to Charlie Brown on my I-70 site when I was going through resolution.
Wow. You may
Is
have
that his
talked,
name? I
but,
can't-
you're
now
right.
let's clarify that, and I don't know what your
But it
conversation
wasn't on
was.
this
that was a
side.
nicer sign.
Exactly.
It was
Yeah,
on
we
the
couldn't get it.
I-70 side.
Okay.
That I couldn't get on.
No.
It wasn't on this side. I called and left him a message
I
on
don't know,
this side.
we don't know.
He just never
No.
called back.
I think yours and Cliff are nice.
So Charlie has not promoted that particular
I
site.
called and left a message for Charlie to ask him to make sure I had the same laws as the I-70 project, but he never returned my call. I left
Going back to
him.
that I-70 project, would you consider revisiting that site? You'd mentioned fuel tanks, underground fuel tanks, or if I understood
Oh,
correctly.
it's way too much money.
Because I
It's
don't think
contaminated.
the community opposes you coming to the county, I think it's your location, your choice.
It's not really my
Would
choice.
you consider revisiting the I-70 location?
No, I can't. It's contaminated and they missed the mark. You know, there was a time when they could have had state pay for that cleanup and they missed it. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that
What do you
property.
mean by contaminated?
It was an old fuel,
It was a gas station.
It was a gas station that has some
So there's
issues from the
toxins
past.
all over it, like.
Well, I can't put a baseline on it. You know, when I come in and I say, this is the problem, and I didn't
Yeah.
contribute to it, I can't do that at that site. I don't wanna
Well,
buy
as
into
far as the
any
toxins
environmental
go,
issue.
I also wonder too, I mean, nothing against farmers, but they've been spraying for years. You know,
Well-
like, we're gonna get toxins.
I mean, I'd love to go get a greenfield site, but you know, the problem is getting a site big enough for me that I have to put stone down and lime stabilize it and things of that nature. I mean, that's why this site was sprayed.
I think that's a valid point that you make. I think that everybody here has made wonderful points, and I think the point that there's already toxins in the air makes it the very reason we don't want more. 2 packs of
What do you
cigarettes
do
is
about the ones
is
that
worse
are
than
here?
one. What I'm talking about is we're adding additional VOCs and toxins into the air. There's a reason why we need a federally enforceable state operating permit from the Office of Air Quality. Minimal requirements, minimal toxins, whatever you want. A house doesn't need an air quality permit. Certain other structures don't need an air quality permit. These do because they do emit toxins. And you're absolutely right. There is farmer toxins, there's other toxins. Now we're adding an additional layer of potential exposure within a mile of 2 of our schools,
But
where
they're
half of our
regulated.
school-aged children are gonna be in every day.
They're regulated. There's farmers fields all over this county.
I do think we've got kind of 2 separate things going on.
No.
One, I don't think people in here, cause I've heard this a lot, and
Yeah.
most people have.
Never learned
Everybody's
to
always wanting more industry in this community. With that, we're gonna get costs, okay? The other issue is about the location and the proximity of the school. I think
That's
you
the
know,
hard
we got 2 separate issues going on here. And in Commissioner's defense, or there's kind of protocol that, and these folks have done it, that, you know, we have an economic development in the county that go out and try to find places to come in to help the community prosper, and they market these industrial sites, as this was earmarked as one, so they were just out doing their job. If I understood you, or understood them right, I just wanna make sure it's clear, there was a site that you was contacted about with one of the commissioners down I-70, and that just didn't work out.
Well, I
I
can't,
mean, it's not feasible.
Well,
So, you know, to say, to all of a sudden think, well, this guy's out trying to just bring anything in, you know, it didn't work out. So they've just identified another site. That's what I said, I think the concern is, it's not that we don't want you here, I don't think, or these folks, it's just, the school's a problem.
And by the way,
And the traffic.
please clarify, this is a temporary outfit, right?
Yeah,
The plan?
Yeah.
Yes.
How long?
What do you mean temporary?
How long
The
we-
plan is portable, long as I get work.
So,
We have
so I talk about economic benefit,
Yeah,
it could be 12 months, it could be,
incorporated with this, we've got to go and get the site ready,
Be
we're
like
gonna
the
have
rest of
thousands
it.
of
Could
dollars
be
wrapped
since
up.
'87.
right.
yeah, that's kind of.
Could be 35
Who
years.
knows what it could be. It could be 6 months, it could be 2 years, I think.
Well, that's why I mean, the
Based on work.
economic impact from 6 months of work probably is
Right,
very substantial, that's why
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
asking.
you just, that's all questions, it's kind of,
Say, the economic impact over 30 years would be a big difference, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
You can't say 6 months anymore, I can say 30 years.
I think the concerns are valid.
Have you had any plans in 30 years in one location? Which one?
Let's see, we have, no, yeah, we didn't start till '87. The, plant one, it stayed until it was the last week, then we moved to,
One quick question on this site being industrial with the brick plant, has there been any studies or, any looking at any of the asbestos that might be there?
That's what the county got a brownfields grant for phase 1 and phase 2. When they talk about phase 1 and phase 2, that is an environmental study and environmental cleanup for that property.
So there is asbestos.
I don't know if there's asbestos or not. Mr. Coffinberry would know. He's the one that's negotiated, he's the one that's gotten all that. I don't know.
There's an asbestos shingle growth, if you come in as a IT building, that would be removed. But, you know, like I said, we got a price in asbestos abatement.
In the asbestos, there are two types of asbestos, there's friable and non-friable. Friable means that it's insulation like you have around pipes where it becomes
The
airborne,
stuff
you
you
touch
see in
it.
mechanical rooms and stuff that everybody's.
When we have this non-friable asphalt where it's shingles, the cleanup for non-friable, you don't have to have the site watered down. One thing we gotta do is line the trucks with plastic, it can be handled by hand, you don't have to special suits,
And there's probably not, like I say, there's a building out there that has shingles on it, and it's not a shingle like on your roof, it's more of a.
a corrugated.
Yeah, like you see on the picture, that it has to be removed. But all that's been isolated, determined in phase 1. They've done drillings and it was pretty good.